Five, four, three, two, one. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to the hottest sounds.
Dream Catcher Radio.
Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but actually, you've been planted.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You could stare me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground.
Okay, we are back and good afternoon. We're here with Ralph Christie. This is episode 12. Now, some of the listeners may know that I did a short discussion on a short video recently, which I've sent around, talking about injustice. And something that I've never asked Ralph, actually, and it's just an opportunity before we start going into stuff in this episode. Ralph, you've had a listen to that. One question I've got, right, is we know you went to prison. Can you just talk about the impact of yourself and also family, friends, and alike? Because that's what that little short 5-minute video was about, is the impact. And I actually wrote that on the train coming back from London one day, not too long ago. We've not talked about the impact, Ralph, because you seem like a settled person. So if you can help our listeners out with that, please.
Well, it's quite a strange one actually listening to what you recorded, because it kind of brings back memories that you've kind of forgotten. And I can remember when I came out of prison, I just didn't like talking to people about it. What was it like in prison? You get all the usual questions and what have you. And I kind of put it behind me. But then listening to that, of course, what you said is quite true, because it absolutely crippled my family life and it crippled my business. I was character assassinated. I mean, strangely enough, I just kept thinking, most of the time I was in prison, I thought, well, surely Cedric's going to come and get me out at some stage or whatever, he surely doesn't think all this is true and what have you. But at that stage, we didn't know, I didn't know how much, well, everything was down to him really and Declan. So, I just thought, surely Cedric will come this week and say, we're sorry, we've worked it all out. It's a big miscarriage of justice. But of course, we never knew that he was a criminal himself, and obviously did it, so he didn't go to jail. But coming back to it, I don't tend to dwell in the past. I'm not that sort of person. I am positive, and I've moved forward. And what is 8 years since I came out. But like you said, I mean, you've got to think of Kenton was 9 years old at that stage. He's 21 now. He's a great kid. So I'm very fortunate, really, that he didn't go by the wayside. My ex-wife Jane did a good job with him under the circumstances. And when the trial was going on, wife number one and wife number two were fully supportive of me and what have you. And it's only since the truth has started to come out about it, and obviously my second wife started to believe what Declan was saying, and so that was the end of that marriage. The first wife was supporting me all the way up, probably to just before I was coming out of prison, and then I've just told her what has happened, and she was having none of it. No, my son hasn't done this, and and all the rest of it. And but where we are now, I'm very I'm happy with my life and sorting things out. I'm enjoying the radio program. It's spring here already. We've got flowers everywhere. So it's I've kind of put it behind me, but it is something as positive as me. But it can be devastating. I mean, people committed suicide in the prison, and there's a lot of hardship on people where they're very lonely because their family had deserted them. So yeah, it's hard to put in.
Yeah, the
The
most
context.
important thing is contact in prison, isn't it? With the outside world. Now, Ralph, I know I don't want to labour you too much about this, but we'll move on shortly, and I'll actually play very shortly my story, if you like, or my thoughts and feelings in my quiet moment on the train. We'll play that shortly. Now, when you basically leave court, you go directly downstairs, don't you?
Yes.
And what happens next?
Well, I just got, I just got sentenced to my 7 years. But of course, the big counts like the Veron AE not getting guilty for that and not getting found guilty for Placius Palace and the Plus Market. This is where this is where the big money was, of course. And what I got convicted for, it's less than 500,000 on a 50 million sterling trial. So that is ridiculous. But actually, when I got sentenced, well, when I got found not guilty for Veron AE, and the judge said, "Okay, take him away downstairs." Well, you go down the stairs, and there's a long tunnel, and they put you in the holding room, and then you get taken to HMP Leeds. But they take your handcuffs off, and the guard knew me. He was an old guy because he'd been in Bradford for about 30 years, and I did his carpets, fully enough, when I was, what have you. Anyway, he takes the handcuffs off, and I go running down the passageway. Yes, yes, yes. And he looks at me. He says, "Ralph, I've been working at this prison for 30 years. I've never seen anybody happy when they've got a sentence." And I turned around to him and said, "You wait and see what comes out of this now, because getting not guilty for Veron AE, which is a corporate company that the West Yorkshire Police crippled with stupidity in 2009. This was like," so I was overjoyed about that one, really. I knew all the other convictions were nonsense. The Howard Tennant's one and the Simon Thomas one and Michael and Kimberley one and the Matthew and Benedict Clark one. There was only 5 in total. So I'm probably a bit of a different character, and the prison guard found it quite funny. And here we are. It's quite obvious that I'm innocent and I've been stitched up. We've been through it all, one by this self-confessed rapist and a self-confessed criminal copper. So, I suppose everybody deals with it differently. But I was actually skipping dancing.
I've got a couple more questions. I don't want to bring back old memories. So basically, you go in the holding cell. Do you go by your prison van to the prison?
Yeah, they're affectionately known as the sweat box.
Yeah. Were there many other prisoners go with you on that day?
I think there was 3 or 4. Yeah, a couple of them obviously knew each other and chatting. I just, you just sit in there and they might give you a sandwich or something like that, and then they take you to the prison, and that's it for 7 years.
I'm assuming you've never been to prison before or after.
No. I mean, obviously, I got held on remand for 8 months in Crete in 2013, which Durham Hall knocked off the sentence, even though he didn't know there was a trial here, apparently. So I'd done that 8-month stint, and then Andrew West, with his lies to Judge Thomas on the 9th of January 2014, got me another 90 days in HMP Leeds. So I'd done that. So when you suddenly kind of look at your sheet and you've got a sentence and it's like 2015 and it says it's going to go on until 2022, you kind of look at the sheet and think, what? All this, I've got to wait for that, and and things like that. But what did you do at the end of the day? They've done it, and
no, you have to man up, don't you? Really?
Yeah.
You've only got a number of options, haven't you? My next question is, what was it like an induction when you're in the prison system, finding your feet and all that sort of jazz?
I mean, I have to go right back, don't I suppose? I mean, the first time I was in prison was in Crete, and obviously you hear these horrendous stories about Greek jails and what have you, and I just wondered what I was going to let myself in for. But fortunately, they'd just built a brand new prison in Hanya. It was only 3 months old. They'd never had a British prisoner in there before.
You're a celebrity.
Yeah. So it's kind of, and it was based on an American idea. So it was very, very modern. It all had the doors were all open by computers every morning at 8 o'clock, and then you had to be back in by 8 o'clock at night. It was quite crowded. There was 3 or 4 of us in a cell. But one of my friends in there was a good cook, whatever, he played a lot of chess. So, they go on about Greek prisons, how horrendous they are, and I'm sure there are in mainland Athens and what have you, but I was quite fortunate to go into this modern one here, and so that wasn't so bad.
Is that like bunk beds?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're all about changing the prisons here to everybody having a single cell. Because they're saying it's inhumane to have to share
The,
with somebody.
the prisons, you got to feel sorry for the prisoners like HMP Leeds and Doncaster. It's absolutely horrendous. You've got, you're sharing a cell, and then you've got an open toilet, and with another guy, it's not even a separate area. So somebody's you wake up, your bunk pal or whatever you call him, he gets out of bed and has to have a shit. What can you do? And it's totally illegal. It goes against all human rights of prison. So,
That's the thing
and
that
nothing really
amazes me, Ralph. Yeah. That's the thing that amazes me is how these prisons have not been upgraded. Where does all the money go? The Where does all the money go? Because there's still stuff from Edwardian times. Some
yeah.
prisons.
And they're probably worse now than when I was there because they probably still haven't spent any money on it. But then what can you do? You can't do much about it. You can't complain and what have you.
Yeah.
So
But you could always put an out.
yeah. Well,
Okay. On that note, I'm just going to play this short recording. It's 5 minutes. Is what I wrote on a train talking about injustice not too long ago. I'm going to play that now. I want to talk about something I wrote down. I actually wrote it on the train coming home from London one day, not too long ago, and about injustice. And this is how I feel. This is how I feel. I believe every day someone in this country is swallowed up by the criminal justice system, not because they're guilty, not because the evidence is clear, but because the system, the one we're told to trust, gets it wrong. And I just as a side note, I just want to add something just for me personally as well. Even though I wrote this, the is that, believe me, they do get it wrong. They do get it wrong. People get pressured to basically feel guilty to stuff they possibly should not be guilty to, just to get processed and be on your way. And it does upset me. And when injustice happens, it doesn't arrive with a warning. It doesn't knock politely. It tears through your family like a storm. We talk about cases, we talk about statistics. We mentioned it the other day. 10% is what the government accepts. Other agencies suggest it's more closer to 20% that people in prison wrongly convicted. That includes basically not just they could be convicted of something, but not to all the elements of a crime. So their sentences could be different. We talk about the queues, but strip away the labels, and what's left is a person, a life, a family waiting by the phone, praying for the truth that keeps slipping through their fingers. And I want you to pause for a moment. Imagine the person behind the bars is your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, someone to laugh, whose stories you grew up with, someone who trusts the world to be fair until the world isn't. Just imagine watching them be judged, not by facts, but by assumptions, not by evidence, but by stereotypes and false narratives. Imagine the weight of knowing the truth and watching it being ignored. Injustice isn't abstract. It's not distant. It's not rare. It's real. It's happening all over the world in many different forms. And it's happening to people that look like us, live like us, love like us. The question is, how does it happen? The question is, what would you do if it happened to someone you love? Would you stay silent? Would you look away? Or would you demand better? Not just for them, but for everybody or everyone who has been failed by a system that's supposed to protect us all. Because justice isn't justice if it only works for some. And a system that can take an innocent person from their family is a system that needs to be challenged, rebuilt, reimagined. We hear all the time, every single new parliament, we need prison reform. So today, don't just listen, think, feel, question, because change doesn't start in the courtrooms. It starts with conversations like we're having here on Dreamcatcher Radio. Okay, we are back. Hopefully, people understand the context of what I wrote there and said. So I think people really need to understand the impact of injustice on family and friends, and it really does happen. People don't believe it. The people believe the mere fact you walk into court, you're guilty of something, and that's a sad state of affairs. But it's been going on for decades, if not centuries. Now, Ralph, we got a document here we're looking at the moment, which is from Andrew West, Specialist Fraud Division in Petty, France. And he's from the Crown Prosecution Service. Can you just give us a context to this letter first before I start reading it out?
Yeah, this letter came out at the beginning of June 2021 to the Greek authorities again. And this is the same prosecutor that didn't prosecute Stephen Thomas or Cedric in March 2010. Was in cahoots with Keir Starmer over the letter of request that was sent in February 2011, full of the lies about me, and there was a few about Cedric in that as well, and John Jessup and my ex-wife Jane. So he's been on this ever, for 15, 16 years now. And I'm always sending emails out, as you know, or your show goes to the Chief Constable John Robbins, and some goes to Tayab Ali. I don't know whether they listen to them or whether they ignore it or want it to go away, but every episode that goes out, they ignore it. I actually got an email from the mayoress of West Yorkshire, Brabham, on Friday saying, "Look, will you stop sending these emails because we've had over 50." And I sent her a reply back. I said, "No, I won't stop them. If you'd have dealt with the first one, I wouldn't have had to send the other 49." So
there's a thing called paper terrorism nowadays, Ralph. I don't know if you know about that.
There's a thing about reporting crimes as well, isn't it?
There is, yeah, quite.
John Jessup, Jeff Brown reported Cedric for his money laundering offences in 2008 on Zakros, beginning of January, to West Yorkshire Police online. He hasn't heard anything come back about that. It wouldn't surprise me if Catherine Evans hasn't reported Cedric to either Cheshire Police or Welsh Police. I'm not sure which area she's in, for that stupid letter he wrote to the German people who've got the villa in the south of Crete.
I've glanced at a few of your emails. They seem nicely written, I guess. But I suppose it creates a record as well, doesn't it? So they can't.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I have my appeal and I call the mayoress of Leeds, why didn't you deal with this? And when you were first appointed in 2021, she thought it was rubbish. But I'm not. So the thing is, I'm speaking the truth.
I suppose.
So Andrew West has started this case in 2021 now, trying to get me put in jail again for slander or whatever he wants to call it. But the people he's protecting, one's a self-confessed rapist. Another one has broken into my house here and stolen my intellectual property and some cash and given it to West Yorkshire Police. I mean, these are facts. Simon Thomas is a brother of Stephen Thomas, who he gave 150,000 sterling to that I got convicted for. So, the idea of this, if I was Andrew Voltus, who was defending these people, I wouldn't even bother turning up. I'd just say, well, I can't defend these because it's quite obvious that Ralph's been speaking the truth all along.
So I suppose you could say, though, you're not emailing for fun. And as you said, if they started, I suppose, what could the mayor do, though, just have interest? Well,
Well, she's a police and crime commissioner, isn't she?
Oh, okay.
It's part of her duty. It's a pity it's not Dame Andrea Jenkins. She's actually the mayoress of Lincolnshire. And she's shown quite a bit of interest in what's gone on. Because really, I mean, the John Robbins is all over this. In my case, he was a commander for the gold commander for Kirklees when I was attacked by some drug dealers in 2011. So he knows about that. He's now the chief constable. He was dealing with Cedric's investigations in 2012 about his crimes, and then in 2017 he sent a letter out to Jane Thomas saying that he wasn't further doing any more investigations into Stephen Thomas. So they're all complicit at the top, and that's it. And just coming back to Cedric, like the letter last week, he's sending this out to Catherine Evans. Why doesn't he just get on a plane? Catherine will get on a plane and we'll go down and see these people face to face. He's just a total coward, is Cedric. He can go to Zakros with me and Jeff Brown, but he knows it's all nonsense what he's saying. So, so he's just firing these bullets. You go and check this out, check this out. He's been to Crete with Declan. He's done all these investigations or fabricated everything. And so it's his problem. So I don't know why he's sending these messages out to people now when he can just say, okay, I'll come over to Crete. But Cedric did come to Crete in February 2020 and 2021 before this case started with Andrew West. So I'm now believing that when he came over there, he was still probably working for West Yorkshire Police, because I think Judge Durham Hall asked for some sort of inquiry into it. So he may have been still fishing to try and get some well, he's still doing it today, isn't he? Which is obvious with the emails. But ask him to come on your show again.
Yeah, he doesn't reply. I've only asked him once, though. So let's move on to this letter here, which is dated the 1st of June 2021 from Andrew West, Specialist Fraud Division of the CPS in Petty France. I wonder why it's called Petty France. I may Google that. It also always intrigued me, those. Okay. I'm the prosecutor who originally had conduct of the case against Ralph Christie at Bradford Crown Court in 2015. The case resulted in Mr. Christie being convicted of a number of fraud offences and being sentenced to 7 years imprisonment on the 6th of March 2015. He was released from prison on the 5th of January 2018 and was made subject to licence conditions, which not bail, is it? Yeah, it's a licence, I guess, yeah. He signed his licence agreement. This confirmed his understanding of the conditions placed upon him on release from HMP Hatfield. So you're down south. He signed this document on the 4th of January 2018. His license requires, among other things, that he's kept in touch with the probation service and he was not permitted to travel outside the UK except with the prior permission of the supervising officer. He was given permission to leave the UK for a number of weeks back in 2018. However, he has not returned as directed. His license has therefore been revoked by the Ministry of Justice. On his return to the UK, Mr. Christie will be arrested and returned to prison. What happened?
There's quite a few issues here because in 2007, I became a Greek citizen because when I bought the company Verona E. So technically speaking, I was a Greek citizen inside a UK jail, which they have what they call an Erst arrangement with foreign prisoners, which should knock 9 months off your sentence so you can return back to your own country. So I should have been released in April 2017 and allowed to come back to Greece, to my family home and to continue and where my work was. But Andrew West blocked that in the prison. And as he says, I was released on the 5th of January 2018. But of course, I've got to get back if I've got to do my work and whatever, and I've got to have somewhere to live. I didn't have anywhere to live in the UK. So and we had the pocket hearing in April 2018. So I stayed for that. I got a further 4-year sentence there, or I had to fine €440,000 within 6 months or go back to prison. But I obviously, after that, I came back here, either to find the money to pay it and what have you. But the pocket hearing was deemed illegal anyway, because there was an outstanding civil case in Crete with Stephen Thomas, which is still going on. which should have been settled before the poker hearing started, because it would have had a massive difference on what was available if I lost the case or if I won the case. So the whole poker hearing was illegal. So the top and bottom of it is I'm still over. I've been over in Greece since 2018, just working and doing my job and in my family home. So
you've not been back to the UK since?
No, and he's quite right. I probably would be put back in prison if I went back to the UK. But bear in mind, I've served half my sentence because I was a Greek citizen. By law, they should have released me in April 2017 and sent me back home. But they didn't suit their agenda, so they made me do 9 months over sentence because of they didn't recognise the Erst. And I've had big discussions with the governor. No, I'm not blaming the prison for this. But Andrew West. I could see letters that the government showed me from Andrew West, and they were full of lies. This guy Andrew West has lied from start to finish, and he should have put, like we said, Stephen Thomas in prison and Cedric in prison in 2010, but and protected Jane Thomas from all the horrendous treatment that she's been through. We had the conversations with Jane Thomas trying to helped me in March 2014 and then December 2014, where she wanted to get the evidence in of Stephen Thomas. But Andrew West has protected, the self-confessed rapist for 15, 20 years now, and still is.
So technically, then you're a wanted man in the UK. You think?
I think I don't know what would happen if I came back, because my sentence is actually finished now. But I mean, I've got my appeal going through, haven't I, as well? So if I win the appeal, then I won't paying for all the time I spent in prison. So, which as a Greek citizen is 10 times as much as it is if I was a British citizen. That's by European law. So they just tried to, they've unlawfully convicted me. They've used the evidence of my own brother, which is falsified. They base it all on assumptions. We've had the Crown Court in Bradford that he says he's in charge of. He's used a lawyer off from Greece illegally at the trial, Nikos Nichosoudakis. He's known that all the information for the Crown prosecution and the West Yorkshire Police has come from my brother Cedric and not disclosed it. It's him that should be in jail, if anybody, along with a lot of other people.
Okay, I'm looking at something at the moment. Okay.
And when this has gone out,
I just was checking. I wondered if I was intrigued myself. If Greek has an extradition treaty with the UK, they do. So if they wanted you, they could have come and got you. No, they couldn't really, because I'm a Greek citizen. Yeah, what I'm saying.
They tried in 2020 when COVID was on, and I actually tried to board the plane to go from Athens to Heathrow to go back to see my probation officer in Wakefield, and the Greeks refused to let me go at Athens Airport. There's a big section on Neil Wilby, who's done a lot of fantastic articles for me over the years about that in 2020, about what the British consulate here stopped me from going. The British consulate stopped me from going.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's all documented. They
said don't go because otherwise you'll get arrested.
No, they didn't say that. They said they basically told me that I'm not allowed to leave Greece until 2031. But there's another story there. We're getting away from from this type of letter. But you see, what this letter, Keir Starmer was involved with Andrew West in 2014. Then you had Saunders, who was the next head of the CPS, was involved with other letters coming to the Greeks. And at this time of this letter, Max Hill was head of the CPS, who was another guy who was from up north. So he's allowed Andrew West to send this. So you've had, these letters have got to have permission from the head of the CPS. So they're all complicit now with allowing letters like this to go.
Okay. Further, Mr. Christie is also subject to a confiscation order for assets which are suspected to be in Greece. He could be sentenced to a further period of imprisonment should he pay the confiscation order. That's what you've just talked about, right?
Yes, but the poker UK was deemed illegal. We had an appeal against it by I think it was Cromer's in Leeds that dealt with it, and I got a letter from the lady that was dealing with the poker thing, and she actually said that in January 2019 that the poker thing was closed, but then apparently they started it back up again in April 2019 because they suddenly realised all the implications of that. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on again at the highest level, but it's them that are committing the crimes against me rather than me ever committing a crime in the first place.
Okay, this is an interesting bit now. Since leaving the UK, Mr. Christie has sent numerous emails to those who were involved in the prosecution, witnesses, barristers, and the prosecutors. He has alleged that he was wrongly convicted and has accused various people of lying and being corrupt. This includes many of the witnesses, prosecution and defence counsel, and me, the prosecutor. I should have me.
The biggest liar of them all. Held the whole case together. We read about all the lies he said about. He told Judge Thomas on the 9th of January that I'd taken 3.5 million off Stephen Thomas, and he'd hidden it from his ex-wife Jane. And I've just been cleared of not taking any money off Stephen Thomas in Greece. So, it's quite funny that, isn't it? And me, the prosecutors don't lie.
Yeah. I suppose he left himself last. He is copied. He is copied. Sorry, I apologize. I just snorted as well. I'm feeling sorry for this guy now. He has copied in many people into the emails, both connected to the case and not, thereby making making public these untrue allegations. Just thinking about that logically, where he's saying there, you're saying that these people are lying and corrupt, and he's saying they're untrue. I mean, that's quite a wholesome statement there. He's saying everything's untrue, basically. And then, he's not even said, well, some of them are true. Or, no, he's not even arguing that.
When we get lower down, you'll see the exact same people. He's saying that tried to put me back into court in the Greek courts for a hearing we've got next Friday. And it's the same people that have lied about all the convictions against me in the UK. So it's a massive own goal. I think he really, really regrets writing this letter now, because I think Neil will be challenging him again about this. And, bear in mind, he started it with all the lies in the Keir Starmer letter, February 2011. This is 10 years later, and he's coming out with more crap.
Yeah, it's quite surprising.
Yeah,
what the precursor was to this letter. But what the point I was making was, he's saying that you're making untrue allegations against him and others, and then just leaves it as that, full stop. Mr. Christie has been encouraged to appeal his conviction if he wishes to maintain his innocence. To my knowledge, he's approached a number of solicitors raising these claims of wrongful conviction, and each time he has refused representation. Now, just a quick question on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he sent this to the Greek authorities.
Yeah. To start another criminal case against me for slander.
Oh, I see. That's the reason why I did it.
Yeah, and it started it. So we've had a couple.
This is what you're going to next Friday.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we've had a couple of hearings already about it, but it hasn't been heard yet. So, this is why this is quite important, because it is for the show will be going out on Thursday. So tomorrow morning, we'll be going to court. And, the poor Andreas Voltas, who's defended Stephen Thomas and Sue Watt when they never turned up in 2013, has now got to say to the judge, the three judges, that I've meant to have committed slander by writing the truth about him being, he is the liar.
So basically, Andrew, let me just get my head around this, right? So they've made a slander allegation to who's actually the person making the claim?
Well, they're listed lower down. And so let's just finish off with this letter because we'll go on to the people that are making the claim in a minute. They're the same old people that started the conspiracy in 2009.
Well, that's the end of the letter there.
No, there's another 2 pages below.
The Greek stuff I can't read.
No, but you've got the names. You've got the names, haven't you?
Yeah, Susan Watt.
Can I just say something? Just say something on the back end of that letter. He says here that, to my knowledge, he's approached a number of solicitors raising these claims of wrongful condition. Of course, I have. And Peters and Peters, I spent 30,000 with on the appeal in 2018. It suddenly found out that Nick Vamos, who discovered it was a CPS-led investigation, not a West Yorkshire Police investigation, was actually working with Keir Starmer and David Levy and Andrew West in 2011 when that letter went out. So there was a conflict of interest, so he had to stop doing my appeal. So it's not a matter of him refusing, there was a conflict of interest. Anyway, we have got the appeal going in now with Jeremy Moores.
Did you get your money back?
No.
Right. Okay.
It is quite difficult to get law firms to do appeals because obviously, look at we spoke about Stephen Grattidge and Chris Tirani, meant to have defended me at the trial, but they do prosecution work as well. I couldn't go back to ITN. I mean, ITN should really do my appeal free of charge because of all the rubbish that, with Miriam disappearing and Cedric's involvement in the trial. It's just a complete stitch-up. I mean, Cedric has reported back to Andrew West in April 2014. We've got evidence of that. Grattidge was there. Bottomley was there, and DCI Brennan. So you imagine saying, I've been to Crete and I found all this out. There's no money in Zakros and he's been lying about this. Oh, is there? Let's see if we can get the accounts up to 19. I think we can do that and all the rest of it. It's just, you can imagine them, can't you? They've just concocted the whole case just to face themselves because they started something they shouldn't have started based on the lies from the people you're going to now read out. So continue,
Okay,
Gladys.
On that point, we need to go to a break, Ralph.
Okay. I've got a song, which again is very apt, I think. It's by M People. And in fact, Jeff Brown, my mate, yesterday, when we were watching the Leeds Arsenal match, he came up with this. So thanks, Jeff. And it's Search for the Hero Inside Yourself, M People.
Okay, let's play that now.
Search for
Dreamcatcher Radio is about capturing and creating dreams through music, chat, and debate. Empowering expression, enriching society. A go-to place for unsigned musical talent. A radio station which listens to its audience. Free speech, vibrant, engaging. Stream worldwide 24/7. Events, competitions, promotions. Always keen to have a listening ear. Contact us. hello@dreamcatcherradio.com.
Dreamcatcher Radio.
Okay, we are back continuing on this. So I'm not familiar how the Greek courts work. And it appears to me this page 2 is a list of claimants, which is Stephen. Sorry, just a quick one, Ralph. We're not going to prejudice your case by talking about it, are we?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
No.
Stephen Andrew Thomas, Simon Charles Thomas, Susan Jill Watt, Robert Watt, Michael Thompson, and Kimberly Thompson. And this is all, they're all like, they've brought a class action against you for defamation, is it?
Yeah.
Going back to this Andrew West then, is this Andrew West, is this a supporting statement?
Yeah.
And this just looks like a love letter, though.
Well, yeah. Well, basically, bear in mind that he's a guy that told the lies that made in the Starmer letter that caused the criminal trial here. So he's just sent a load more lies to the Greek prosecutors.
I just want to get my head around. I just want to get, sorry, Ralph, I want to get my head around this, right? Yeah. So after all these years, they've started a defamation complaint against you because you're sending emails which they could always contest and say it's not true and this is our rebuttal. Have they ever done that?
They've never done it in the past, so, because obviously I'm an innocent man and I've been to jail, and I just want I want it out there to let let the public know. So everything I've sent them is the truth. So
right. So you've sent them these emails. You're saying what they've lied or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're listed in the whole. They're listed lower down the document, but there's no point us going through them because they're just emails I've sent directly to Andrew West saying, "Why have you sent all these lies to Greece about me? And why did you keep me in prison longer than I should do? Why did you lie to Judge Thomas? Why didn't you deal with Stephen Thomas being a rapist? Why did you let Cedric lead the prosecution, the investigations, and never tell me? Why did you let Cedric interfere with the trial? Why did you have a Greek lawyer called Nikos Nikosodakis as a prosecution witness when it's not allowed?"
So are you asking questions or are you calling them lies?
I'm calling them. Well, I'm asking them questions. I'm not exposing their lies. We did a whole show on his lies to Judge Thomas on the 9th of January. Where he's all these people that you've listed here.
I didn't list.
Well, that you've just read out are all named in the David Levy letter or the Keir Starmer letter in February 2011.
Who is Michael and Kimberly? Who are they?
Michael and Kimberly with Thompson were people that we met at a show with Stephen Thomas and I, and they came over and, if you remember, they built the squash court. They invested 200,000 sterling. They had 150,000 sterling back, all evidenced at court. And then they took an apartment for the value of about 120,000 euros at the time. So they actually, nobody got looked after better than Michael and Kimberly Thompson, because they were actually given jobs over here. They were working for their own company. Like I say, they built the squash court. They did a lot of work at Jeff Brown's house. They had the money back. They got an apartment. They were just waiting to have a villa built, and I would give them the money back on the apartment. But then, of course, they spoke to Stephen Thomas in July 2000, and and fled the island. So all these 6 people are part of the original people that either defended Stephen Thomas because they knew that he would committed crimes against his wife, or Sue Watt thought there was a fraudulent document at St George's Retreat, which we spoke about before, when there wasn't. I mean, Sue Watt did a full confession to her own counsel in March 2021, just 3 months before this, where she admitted that she had been working for the Serious Fraud Office and for Andrew West, for helping the investigations, for Unipol, for the Greek prosecutor, for Simon Thomas's lawyer, Andreas Voltus. In that letter that we read out, well, again, all these people were listed known to Andrew West. So Andrew West here is treating these as normal civilians, but they've all at various times done cross-border helps.
Going back to Michael and Kimberly, have you defamed them in some way, shape, or form?
No, not at all. Let me just this is a person that broke into my house, is Michael Thompson, and and there's a lawsuit out against him that he was meant to have come here on the 14th of January 2014 to face criminal charges, but that never happened because Andrew West, 4 days before that, got me remanded with his lies to Judge Thomas at Bradford Crown Court for remand for 3 months, so Cedric could come and do his investigations. So, that's mysteriously disappeared. But also, all of a sudden, you've got these 6 people that you've listed. One's a self-confessed rapist. Simon Thomas is the one that hid the 3,500 with Stephen Thomas, 3.5 million from the divorce. Then you've got Sue Watt, who was working directly for as we said, the CPS and West Yorkshire Police, and concocted all this nonsense and had direct links with Keir Starmer. And her husband, who's an ex-copper and an ex-Marine. And then you've got Michael and Kimberly Thompson who've broken into my house. So I mean, you couldn't have more criminal people potentially actually starting another case against me.
You've probably got a good line up there. Just out of interest, right? Because I'm intrigued a lot now. Is to start a defamation case in the UK, you're looking at least just even court fees. Just the court fee alone is 10 grand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What? And this is outside of jurisdiction. Have they got solicitors or something instructed? Or
well, I think if you look on the list, they're all.
Or is it? Is this a criminal indictment?
It's a criminal indictment. Yeah, they started another criminal trial against me. And bear in mind, the one previously that started against me, it failed. It was all seen a pack of lies. And, in Andrew West's letter there to the prosecutor, we've just been having a laugh and a joke about it, but that's full of lies again. So there's nothing to defend, really.
Oh, I see. There's a solicitor's details here at the bottom of the business card. This is very peculiar. Yeah. Have you got like a bundle then? Because it's like it looks like it's slightly paginated, but it's not clear. So you've got a bundle,
a list of all the emails of what they've had translated into Greek and sent to the prosecutor here.
Oh, I see.
So if the prosecutor reads them out in Greek and the translation, I read back, and I'll just say, yes, I did write that because it's true. And Andrew West has now got to say he's written a letter at the top defending all these 6 people. Well, he's defended this rape. Stephen Thomas should have been in jail in 2010.
Well, he hasn't.
Andrew West in 2021 is still defending him.
That's not a defence. What Andrew West wrote. That's not a defence by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a defence for these 6 people. They're prosecuting me.
As I said, that's more of a love letter to me. Right. So, what started this claim then? How? So these people, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have somehow contacted the Greek authorities and made a complaint about you.
Well, Andrew West they've had a meeting obviously with Andrew West, haven't they? Probably in Petty France or somewhere like that again, and say, well, how are we going to stop Christie? He's writing all this stuff about us. Oh, well, should we try and a criminal case against him going in Greece again. Oh, well, what a good idea. Yeah, let's do it. So Andrew West, chief prosecutor, he's already put me in jail for 7 years, and I'm now making all these lies up about him and what have you. So he's tried to come over as the good guy. But of course, we know that the whole of his trial, that he's been the chief prosecutor in the UK, was just based on fable and nonsense and, no truth in it whatsoever. So
Right.
he's headed the letter for these 6 people. So these are the 6 defendants. I don't think for a moment Andrew West will be there, but I don't think any more will, because they've got the chance of Sue Watton, Stephen Thomas, and Michael Thompson all being arrested. 1 for breaking into my house, and 2 for contempt of court for lying in 2013. I don't think there's a problem with Simon Thomas and Kimberly or Sue Watt's husband, but you never know.
Oh. But so basically, is he one of the people complaining in? It doesn't mention it in here.
No,
Crete.
No, but he's
the one that started this.
Well, he's kind of rubber stamping it. Look at me, I'm the chief prosecutor. I've got Ralph Christie into jail against. He's failed to mention that he sent a pack of lies, in over 50 lies to the Greek prosecutor in 2013, and also the lies that they were told in 2011 when Sue Watt's running around Europe trying to get me arrested, and Christie's done a runner and he's got no money, and in the letter that we read out previously. So it's just, I don't think it'll. Well, what are they going to do? Well, let's hope it starts and finishes on Friday. But I think that if Andrew West now will regret writing this letter. Well, I think he regretted it within 6 months of writing it, because, of course, my lawyers here went straight back to him about it.
Oh, so you've got a lawyer representing you?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
This is bizarre.
Well, yeah. And they've based all their prosecution on Cedric and Declan's lies in April 2014. The one count that Andrew West was trying to get me convicted for from 2009, I got not guilty for. So they're just, rather than stopping it or putting their hands up, they're making the situation worse. He's actually put it in his own writing, and he's even accused me of lying. Yes, I have, Mr. West, because you are a liar and a protector of rapists and bent coppers.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen defamation cases here, and the bundles are huge, absolutely huge. But I didn't know you could be charged criminally for defamation. I guess I don't know.
It's quite a serious offence, actually, in Greece, but obviously,
I'm thinking about UK stuff. I'm just trying to think of a case, perhaps, where you can be criminally charged for defamation. I don't think you can in the UK.
Yeah. And Max Hill would have sanctioned this letter to go cross-border to start another case against me, who was head of the CPS at the time. I don't think he is anymore. I think somebody else is in there now. So, but it just shows you the lengths that they'll go to.
And even though they're not even Greek citizens, they could enter the criminal courts. Well, obviously they are, and seek relief for defamation. Even though they're British citizens, can they do? They can obviously do that, right?
Yeah, but they won't come to Greece, or 3 of them certainly won't come to Greece. But the lawyer Andrew Voltus, if it starts, will represent them.
Right. And then how do you cross-examine the witnesses then?
Well, you won't. He will speak on their behalf. The judge could possibly say, "I want them here in front of me," but I don't think so. I don't think that they'll do
I know you
that.
don't. I know you believe this is like totally without merit, but I'm just deconstructing my head. A solicitor can't speak on behalf of a witness if you've got an abstract question, for example.
They can represent this. They can represent because my ex-wife Jane Snowball didn't come to the trial. She was represented by Dr. Femis Sophos in her absence.
Yeah, but what happens if you have an obscure question? Who answers that?
Well, Well, all I can say is that my wife, if we'd have got convicted over here, even though my wife wasn't here, she could have got a 20-year sentence here with me, with with all the lies that Andrew West sent and Keir Starmer sent, if it had all come off. So she would have had to have handed herself to the UK and come over to join me in prison if we'd have got convicted.
The representation is very different from a witness. Because you can't question a bit of paper. If they've written witness statements saying, "Oh, he said hurty words here, and this is untrue," or whatever it may be, you need to be able to say, "Look, this is the reason why I said this because of this."
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want
to. Really bizarre situation.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. And look what happened at Bradford Crown Court. They flew Matthew Clark 5,000 miles from Vancouver to Bradford. He's a Canadian citizen. Based on Cedric sent the letter to Matthew Clark saying I was a criminal on the 12th of April 2014, which you've read out again. If the guy's in 5,000 miles away, they were that desperate to pin it on me that they flew him over.
I just want to clarify for the sake of listeners as well. This sometimes the episodes go into like barroom talk kind of thing where we're discussing documents. And I've had some people kind of find it quite interesting, but some people say just get on with it. But I'm just asking questions because this is a unique situation for me to try and understand. So for those of you that enjoy it, thank you. Those of you who don't enjoy it, just please, I'm asking questions like any normal person would do. All right,
I'm sorry if I can't answer them myself as well, Bradley, because I don't, I don't have all the answers myself. Really. The whole of Operation Lanning has been bizarre, which, as I've said before, has perplexed me for many years. But hopefully, we're getting somewhere.
Let's move on down. I'm not too sure if this is relevant. A letter request for legal aid. That's not really relevant, is it?
No.
Okay. No. There's a email here, Steve Taylor, the 17th of June, 2011.
Yeah, well, this is where Sue Watt and Stephen Taylor and Andrew West are all working together, to try and get me arrested in Greece. We had a whole...
we read this out. Did we read this one out before?
We read all this out before on Series 3, I think it was. So you got the same names in there in 2011, apart from Stephen Taylor.
Okay. Okay, I've got something here. Which I've not seen before. The Hunt is On, led by Sue Watt, feeding D.I. Taylor and Andrew West in an illegal, it says man. What's that about?
It was just something that somebody wrote when I came out of prison about it after studying the documents. I think it might have been something to do with Peters and Peters, really. And they were just exposing the close links between Sue Watt, Kimberly Thompson and Michael Thompson and Stephen Thomas and DC Skidmore and Taylor, all working together. It's kind of just to get me remanded in Greece, which this was 2011. Well, come 2013, they did get me remanded. But then we had the trial in the UK, in Crete, where I was fully exonerated, which again, the UK trial shouldn't have even started because I was exonerated here. The same people that were listed in the Keir Starmer letter are still listed here. They're still listed in that document you're reading in 2011, but then they went and did the same trial in the UK with the same people. Benedict Clark was mentioned in the Greek trial, Mario Cercione, Cedric, Pat Brownette, the list goes on and on. Alan Thompson, Nikos Nicosadakis.
I did read a case the other day, Ralph, where 2 times this person got acquitted in the UK. 3rd time he got convicted.
Mm.
That wasn't too long ago, that case. About 5 years ago. Extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah. It is, yeah. Yeah, they're just... they started... I mean, it started with Cedric in 2008, did Operation Langen. And like I said in the programme last week or the week before, it's going to end with Cedric. Everything else that's gone on in between has all happened because Cedric was being investigated for being the bent copper that he admitted being. So like he's sending out these letters now as if I'm a former policeman with investigative experience. He's not. What he's done is he's put umpteen people in prison for crimes they haven't committed, and the last person he's put in prison was his own brother.
Yeah.
You've just got a complete. Well, Stephen Taylor sent a go on about it. That what he said to the House of Commons in 2021 summed up exactly what the economic crime unit of West Yorkshire Police is. He'd actually said, we haven't got the resources, we haven't got the staff with any nous. It's just like they've got a lot of dumb coppers in there working. And then the same coppers have gone and done the same thing, as I mentioned last week, with the same set of barristers at Exchange Chambers in Leeds, done the same thing now to Daniel Wilson in Operation Larkspur. And his wife, I sent him what you recorded to me to his wife yesterday. She said, I'm just on my way to visit Daniel now. She says, it's quite shocking what's gone on. And the minor senior and David Charity were all involved with that. And now he's sat doing a 10-year sentence. Cedric was connected to James Stunt, and back in 2012, I think he went to visit him with Simon Morris in Mayfair. So these police are actually working with the criminals, and then they put the innocent people in prison. There was a DCI, Jane Booth, that worked at Dudley Hills Police Station that was monitoring the whole of that money laundering factory that they were meant to be doing with Bernie Eccleston's son-in-law. So they set it up professionally using the police's advice on what to actually do. And all of a sudden it's come tumbling down because of the so-called wants of cash that the police knew about.
Is it a trial or case management this Friday?
It'll be a hearing. It's a strange system here. We have a number system. So and bear in mind we've had 3 or 4 attempts at starting this. We might be higher up the list this day. If we're number 10 and they only get to number 9, it'll go back another year and a half. But obviously, we just want to. Well, I mean, Andrew West here. It's a really serious offence to send lies cross border about another country's citizens. It's one of the worst. Because I've been a Greek citizen since 2007. It's not as if he's talking to somebody that, okay, I was born in Yorkshire and all the rest of it. But the lies that, from what you've just read about from 2011, in cahoots with these 6 people, and then now the lies here in 2021, and then the lies that were in the Starmer letter, it's cross-border lies, and they're still at it. So it's a serious offence. I mean, I think if a senior prosecutor has done something like that, I think it's like that in itself is about 20 years in prison.
Extraordinary.
Cedric Christie should get life, just like Carl Beach, who made all the lies about the politicians. Leon Britton and then the chief of the Ministry of the Army. He made a lot of lies about him. I can't remember all the names. Operation U Tree.
Leon Britton was an interesting character, though. I think there's lots of questions to be asked about him. Anyway,
well, so was Ted Heath and what have you. But that guy Carl Beach got life imprisonment, and he didn't actually put them in prison. They found out before the trial and put him in prison. We found out after the trial that Cedric's put me in prison and Declan's put me in prison. By law, that is life imprisonment. To falsify evidence to put somebody in prison, that's the law. Okay,
let's move on to the next document. Okay, we've got a document here which you've submitted. I sound like a judge there, don't I? One does question where this document existed from. Okay, explain this document before we start talking about it.
Okay, this is a document that Cedric made for West Yorkshire Police and the CPS regarding the crimes of Stephen Thomas against his ex-wife Jane Thomas, which again we've spoken about before. Cedric wrote this in 2012, and he's done a timeline from the 20th of May 2006. So what's quite interesting is that all what Cedric's put in here is true. We've got all the everything that he's written about as backup. But of course, we didn't know when Cedric was actually working for Jane Thomas at this time to help her. So, of course, we didn't know at that stage that Cedric was a career criminal himself. And next week, Brad, what we might do is we've got where Cedric doorstepped Stephen Thomas around the same time of this, and they're speaking together for about an hour and a half, and we've got the script of it, and it could well be, it'll be quite funny if you play Stephen Thomas and I'll play Cedric, and we'll go through that, and we should have a few laughs at that. You know, a self-confessed rapist being spoken to by a self-confessed bent copper. But yeah, so yeah, this we'll talk about this week.
Okay. So who was Cedric working for?
Jane Thomas at this time.
Okay.
Cedric was still on side with me then, and I kind of introduced him, I think 2011, and Jane Thomas was saying what Stephen Thomas.
So he put his police officer experience and has done this chronology.
Yeah, and got paid by Jane Thomas for doing it.
Right, okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay. 20th of May 2006. 2300 hours 28. Log 1947 a rape reported by Jane Thomas against Stephen Thomas. Complainant's statement to DC Sally Bishop outlining rape. Jane also tells DC Bishop of other rapes and assaults over many years. Whilst with DC Bishop, Jane received picture messages from Stephen's phone of Osama bin Laden. Jeez. With words, "Catch me if you can." Police records and picture messages still available. Also, recording of verbal abuse, assault suffered on early occasions on the 30th of the 12th, 2005. Phone seized by DC Bishop and DC Cullingford to secure the evidence. And this poor woman, man. This poor woman. Okay. The 21st of the 5th, 2006. 10:20 hours, Stephen Thomas is arrested. 14th, the various stuff there. Stephen Thomas interviewed, represented by solicitor Alistair Bateman, interviewed about rape on the 20th of the 5th only. Bail to return, no bail conditions. How could it be no bail conditions?
Well, Alistair Bateman is Stephen Thomas's lawyer, who's married to Suzanne Hoy, who's a CPS lawyer that we mentioned last week, got this rape case and the many other rape cases dropped in 2013.
But so, yeah, the simple bail conditions to put in place is not to contact directly or indirectly Jane Thomas, let alone go down her road or whatever it may be. They're normal in these sort of cases.
Yeah,
not to return to the address, whatever it may be, and there's no conditions from an interview. That's extraordinary. Okay, that's actually it's quite interesting. That is actually I've never heard of that before either. To be given
Stephen Thomas has got his contacts. It all comes back down to Ray Singh, his golfing buddy, who's a circuit judge in Yorkshire and connected to the solicitors.
That doesn't stack up, does it? No bail conditions, not even not to contact the complaining party. That gives a bit of weight to what you guys are saying. All right. Yep. 22nd of May 2006, Jane makes 7-page statement outlining previous rapes, assaults, abuse since 18 years old. Do you know, the thing about this sort of thing, there's something else that I just know about, another case where the, actually, funny enough, it's not funny, as in where the young girl started getting groomed at the age of 15 and then ended up marrying the groomer. It's someone I've
that was in Bradford.
Well, no, this is not a published case yet. And the guy was actually a solicitor acting for the mum, and then went on to marry the girl, and then come out the closet and decided that he's a trans and has started to harass the mum, his ex-partner. And that's, anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the relevance being that people stay in these situations because they're so controlled, but they don't even realize it sometimes. So it's very plausible that rape was potentially acceptable, or abuse was acceptable, because it does happen. It does happen. I think it's Stockholm syndrome, isn't it?
I think Jane Thomas is about 10 years younger than Stephen Thomas. I'm not sure, but he's obviously met her when he might have been 28, 29, maybe even 30, and she's an 18-year-old. So
yeah, this guy's 25 years older than her. Yeah. He's been disbarred as well as a solicitor for other reasons. Anyway, witness details and Ansfel's messages provided are corroboration, informs DC Bissett, and Stephen admits rape and assault in his divorce petition. I still can't believe this, but there's a date here as well. Even though he's a bank cop, he's wrote the date down. 22nd of the 4th, 2006. All includes in a statement. This indicates that at the first time, West Yorkshire Police were taking responsibility for all rapes wherever they occurred in the country. Didn't know they could do that. The suspect and the victim both live in West Yorkshire Police area as to follow ACPO guidelines. It looks like he just wrote that last bit just to bulk it out a little bit. Ralph, we're going to pause there. We're going to have to go to a break. We'll just play your next song.
I will. You keep catching me off guard when it comes to the songs. We're going to have Jerusalem by Master KG. I know it's a bit of a depressing subject that we're talking about at the moment, but let's just bring a bit of light music into it.
Okay, let's play that now.
Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami.
I actually enjoyed that song, Ralph, actually. So it was lovely, actually. I've not heard that song in years. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
good song. I should maybe put that at the end, really, because we're talking. This is a very depressing subject we're talking about, but very sad.
Yeah. And that's just as another point as well on that, talk about sad subjects and that sort of thing. People, I mean, Stephen Thomas is someone that probably is slightly upper class. And these sort of things happen in every classes in life. It is tragic, really. It really is tragic. And however, as you say, he's got some form of protection around him, which nobody's infallible, is what I will say. So see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, 24th of the 5th, 2006, Bateman writes to Stephen stating there may be a conflict of interest in regards because Jane was a previous client of his and he believed he may be a witness in the case. He's a witness. Oh, okay, in terms of the evidence and stuff. Jane applies for a non-molestation order through Mr. Singh, Chivers, Walsh, Smith Solicitors. Non-molestation order and occupation order granted at Bradford County Court with powers of arrest to attach. That's like a penal notice. Okay. 27th of the 5th, further statement to DC Bissett referring to another corroborating witness and photo of injury to leg when kicked by Stephen in Tunisia. Divorce papers exhibited where Stephen admits rape. This day, non-molestation order and occupational order served on Stephen. Occupation order could be many different things, really, but I'm guessing it's just not to stay at the property or visit the property at Bradford Court. Do you know, I've seen occupation orders where the court was actually ordered to separate the house, like as in start petitioning up, so you don't have to see each other. Can you believe that? Anyway,
I sent you this occupation order yesterday, actually, on WhatsApp. So we've got copies of all this. So,
oh right, okay. All right, at Bradford Golf Club after he played a round with Bateman. So this is the golf club, the little community.
Bateman's his lawyer, that's married to Susan Boy,
Also served on the police the same day, but never entered on the computer PNC. 10th of July 2006, contested non-molestation trial in Leeds County Court. Non-molestation order was held by Judge Grenfell. Grenfell. Just reminds me of Grenfell Towers, who commented that the order was needed for Jane's protection. That's good. Despite all of the above, Stephen was informed on 27th of July 2006 that CPS decision was to NFA this matter. That's what I find extraordinary. How is that possible when you've got an admission before another judge? How is that possible? I mean, I don't even understand that, how he would even admit to it anyway in family court proceedings and what reason he would do it. But how is it? How could it be NFA'd?
Well, because of his contacts,
Yeah, but who is he? Who is he? I've not even looked at him actually. I've not even
Well, I mean, I only knew him through his brother. I knew Simon as a very good friend, as I said before, for 25 years. And Simon's obviously knew he could trust me 100%. So give Ralph some money, I'll invest it wisely for you, which I did. And then, of course, the dad died and they had to pay all this money. And they've just got the contacts. I mean, the amount of police officers involved in across different forces is unbelievable. I mean, you got Chris Hemingway, that's at Cheshire Police, was because she was raped in Cheshire. Bill Burns at North Yorkshire Police. Graham Hill at Lancashire Police was in charge of it. And then Alan Lees was running it at West Yorkshire Police. Ian Lawrence was involved. Norman Betterson knew all about it.
Just what I don't understand, right? Right. So you got this weird injunctive type thing with that police officer. I can't remember his name. And also, my understanding is of the way the police operate is that the crimes are investigated in their jurisdiction. But what they're saying is they're going to consume the whole lot. We'll deal with it ourselves. And then,
I think Cedric explains it a bit lower down. That
okay, let's carry on then. But they've NFA'd this, despite there's an admission in court before a judge.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even understand the context of where you would say, I did rape her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Cedric's written this, and Cedric did his confession saying that he didn't investigate rape cases because he couldn't be bothered in his confession.
Really?
And then he's planted all that evidence. So, I mean, it's going to be a classic if we do this kind of Chuckle Brothers. To
me, to you.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. Okay, let's carry on. This is confirmed in a letter that Stephen from Ashworth Solicitors dated the 7th of 8, 2006. Stephen did not answer his bail to face a further interview. DC Cullingford, Jane, of this decision by telephone, she was shocked when she asked if there had been a second interview and if the phone evidence has been put to Stephen. DC Cullingford put the phone down.
So they didn't even interview him a second time. And then the evidence that she got about the Bin Laden picture or whatever else there was, so she's just been blanked.
But basically, though, right, they took her phone to get all the evidence.
Yeah.
Did what they did with it. I mean, by the sounds of it, this Stephen guy is a cocky shit. Also, they've got the confession.
Yeah.
I mean, what more would you want?
Exactly.
To convict somebody.
Yeah. And then to leave him at large and then to go after me in 2 countries based on his testimony is,
Notwithstanding that as well, you also have said you received all this money from him as well.
Yeah. And covered it all.
This is extraordinary. Extraordinary. And outrageous and disgusting at the same time. All right. Jane sought help from Star Rape Counselling and lodged a complaint with WYP, West Yorkshire Police, reference, blah, blah, blah. 2nd of January 2007, Stephen swears affidavit at Bradford Court stating he has invested no money with Ralph in Crete. Oh, come on, please. Are you having a laugh? All right, Ralph, stop bragging. Yeah.
He's already sent $1 million with him and Simon Thomas. I've got evidence of it. It's just a known fact.
The thing is, what makes this even worse? Your brother is basically one would like to think they'd like to support their brother, but in extraordinary, when things get to extreme, then you need to step aside. But this guy, Frederick here, is actually helping you, but then the skullduggery of his nature, whatever it is, he goes on to basically protect his own ass and go against you.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, the amount
so
of
he's done an affidavit. He's done an affidavit.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not a witness statement, right? Which is should have some credit, or credence, but he's done an affidavit.
Yeah, I've got a copy of it, and I showed this to the police in December 2010.
Have I got that?
You will have, yeah. I can get it to you again. We could, at the end of the day, it's all down to Stephen Thomas and Cedric Christie, isn't it? Really, yeah.
So basically, that he had no money invested. I mean, how did he send you this money?
Through the bank. Started sending it in April 2006. He bought a project called Manford Hill with me by the end of 2006. That and it's
and this is the same guy that's taking you to court in Crete on Friday.
Yeah.
And he's lied in an affidavit
with the backing of Andrew West, who's the senior prosecutor.
Oh my days! Have you got a copy of that affidavit? Can you send me whilst I'm talking?
I don't think I can because.
Okay, all right, fine. Let's carry on anyway. This is good enough. We
can do we can do a special show if you like, just on this.
Yeah, we'll do a show on Stephen Thomas, and his cronies. Jane believes him. Oh, she did. I did actually hear that as well through the third party contact with Jane. Yeah. I'm not talking to her directly, but someone else is talking to her, and I get called accordingly. Stephen's benefit from these crimes is approximately 300,000.
At that stage, yeah, but that's what we thought it was at that stage because we didn't.
Oh, I see. I wonder where that 300,000 come from. All right, okay, let's carry on. November, December. Fucking hell. Oh shit! Sorry, I just swore again. Just have to apologising. November, December 2007. Stephen harassed Jane on several occasions, and he was arrested at least once, and was represented by Bateman. In 2008, Jane told the complaint has met an impasse by West Yorkshire Police. In 2009, Jane suffers harassment from Stephen. He wants 50,000 to sue Ralph Christie, who claims has embezzled his money in Crete. How does that work then?
2009, he's gone to the police in with Sue Watt and Michael and Kimberly Thompson in July 2009. So this is towards the end of 2009. So Ralph's taken all my money. I haven't got any. Can I have 50,000, Jane, to get my money back? That he said he's never sent.
but he's got a non-molestation order against him.
Yeah.
So he's breaching that. I suppose it depends on the period.
Yeah. He's arrested twice by West Yorkshire Police.
And he had the cheek to ask her for 50 grand.
Well, also in the summer of 2009, he's been arrested twice. And so Stephen Thomas has then gone to D.I. Taylor and DC Skidmore and said, oh, Ralph embezzled me for money, when he's under investigation himself. Well, it was admitted rape.
Yeah, Stephen's arrested twice and was represented by Bateman again. And then there was another non-molestation order granted in 2009. And one, in all honesty, right, non-molestation orders are fairly easy to get. They're issued like confetti. But to get an extended one is not so easy. So he's clearly breached the non-molestation order to be able to get that. The summer 2009, I believe Stephen made a false complaint statement to West Yorkshire Police Economic Crime Unit that Ralph Christie had embezzled in money. Just so I can get the chronology right? So he sent you a bunch of money, yeah? Quite a substantial sum. Yeah. Did he get much back, or all of it back, or some of it back, or what?
He got it all in assets. I mean, some of it was involved in the Keir land that Alan Thompson snaffled or did. He could have done a deal with Alan Thompson, to be fair, because I know Alan Thompson sold Simon Thomas's house. So there's something that's gone on with it. He hasn't lost any money anyway, and he's still got 4 houses here. But I mean, this is so interesting, isn't it? That Cedric's writing this. That and that Ralph Christie had embezzled his money. But now Cedric says I've embezzled his money as well. We're dealing with it's time to play that song "Sending the Clowns" again, I think.
Yeah, that was a good song actually. I've never heard that one before. The Jane. Sorry.
You got to laugh, haven't you?
All right. All right. Oh, my days. All right. Jane.
Police force.
Yeah.
This is meant to be a professional police force.
I know. I apologize. But the listeners do like it when I giggle, but it's not my fault. Because it's hard to just grasp this, to take it seriously. Jane contacts Specialist Rape Unit of West Yorkshire Police. DC Richard Ford deals video interview conducted on the 6th of the 9th, 2009, re 1989 rape admitted in divorce papers. DC Ford says that Jane has been let down and he will do his best to resolve matters.
So 6th of the 9th, 2009, 1st of the 9th, 2009, DC Skidmore, remember, wrote out that, sent out that email saying that Ralph Christie was a Madoff and embezzled people and stolen money from Stephen Thomas and all the rest of it to all my investors 5 days before this.
Yeah. Well, Madoff was a Ponzi scheme, so that's a bad sort of reference anyway. So
guilty not for running them anyway soon.
February 2010, Jane speaks to Ralph Christie, Crete-based property dealer. Ralph able to say that Stephen did invest in Crete, contrary to affidavit. That's a big thing. If you swear on an affidavit and lie, that's a big issue.
Yeah.
March
Cedric's called me a property dealer there, hasn't he? February 2010. He hasn't called me what it was called. What he was saying, I was a money launderer with Catherine Evans, who's an 80-year-old church choir singer.
Well, as I said, I picked up on that, the word he used, property dealer. That's obviously his word. Jane makes a complaint, re-perjury, fraud to DC Skidmore, economic crime unit. Stephen interviewed about these allegations in March 2010, but Jane never informed of the interview. The outcome of the investigation, Stephen's explanation, believed no crime was recording on niche. I'm guessing that's a computer system or something, is it?
Yeah, it is.
18th of the 8th, 2010, DC Ford tells Jane that he cannot charge due to the earlier problems. I mean, listen, there's only two people here. You got three people, Jane, Stephen, and yourself, right? Jane is accusing him of lying in his affidavit. You're there to say he did actually send me money. It's an easy conviction. Also, like the other one about the rape, which is horrific. It's outrageous how that man can walk the streets. Jeez. So we started off this series talking about a financial injustice, and we've got a self-confessed corrupt cop, and we've got a rapist.
Yeah, both still at loose.
You can't make this crap up. You can't make it up.
Yeah. One's trying to come into Crete. Well, he's wanting to prosecute me in Crete again next Friday, and the other one's saying I'm money laundering with, as I say, Catherine Evans, who, Yeah. Anyway,
then states he has had CPS advice. So the CPS have also said, despite. So the CPS have looked at this as well and seen the affidavit, not thought to speak to you. I mean, did the police even speak to you about this at this juncture?
No, they couldn't speak to me about it. I think they spoke to Cedric about it because he was under arrest at the time with Cedric in 2010. But the CPS advice is Andrew West and Alistair Bateman's wife, Suzanne Hoy. So, and bear in mind, my case was a CPS-led case, so not a West Yorkshire Police.
Okay, let's try and crack on because we've got a lot more time. This is extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. Then he tells Jane this is no further action. He states to Jane that there is no charge due to impact upon police. What does that mean?
It means if they charge Stephen Thomas, it says it in the next sentence, doesn't it? If Stephen Thomas is charged, heads will roll. The inspector from 2006 will lose his job if we charge Stephen Thomas now, because he should have charged Stephen Thomas in 2006. This is believed to be Inspector Peter Craig, who was overseeing and involved in the initial raid.
Cedric writing this?
Yeah.
Wow.
So whoever Peter Craig is, he would have lost his job if they charged Stephen Thomas. So because that's when he did his affidavit in April 2006. So Jane reported it to the police. Then here we are. My husband's a rapist. Arrest him.
Oh my days! If charged, heads will roll. The inspector from 2006 will lose his job if we charge Stephen Thomas.
It's a bit like Stephen Taylor would have lost his job if I'd got not guilty for the 19 counts, which I should have done. You know, D.I. Taylor was actually crying in Tony Wormald's office in Bradford, begging him to become a prosecution witness, even though he's a very good friend of mine, was Tony Wormald. He says, look, I'm going to lose my pension. I'm going to go to prison if we don't convict Ralph Christie. You know, so he goes and so Tony Wormald goes and becomes a prosecution witness. Not that I've done any crimes against him.
I'm in utter disbelief. Because Cedric's wrote this.
Yeah. Well, wait till next week. Everybody will be waiting to listen to next week. If you play Stephen Thomas and I play Cedric, we'll do an hour of the conversation of them. You're a criminal. No, I'm not. It's you that's a criminal. You've ruined my job. No, I haven't. You said Ralph's got nothing in Crete. Yes, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. It's going to be.
This is just mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling, and nobody's picked up on these sort of stuff, despite you've got all these documents.
Well, they can't, can they? You know, this is what I've been putting in emails, and now they've brought a case against me saying it's defamation of character. No, it's not. I'm putting it out there what's gone on, and I'm thankful to your radio station now because obviously it's getting a lot more notice.
Yeah, you definitely get a lot of traction, that's for sure. This is believed. Jeez, wow. I feel so sorry for you. This is believed to be Inspector Peter Craig, who was involved in the initial rape investigation May 2006, and possibly made the decision for Stephen not to be re-interviewed in 22nd of July 2006. Inspector Craig had also previously corresponded with Jane, refusing to review. This is crazy, absolutely crazy. This should be mainstream media, you know. The 5th of the 1st, 2011. Do you know what? I've got a meeting next week, Ralph. I'm gonna share this with somebody that's a television producer in true crime. I'm going to share this document and explain this to them because this is extraordinary. Another non-molestation order was granted. Stephen breached the order in the waiting area in the court and was arrested. Bateman represented him. Jane persisted with the complaints to CPS, Neil Franklin and Sally Sharp, 2010, and MP Philip Davies, 2009-2012.
Yeah, and Philip Davies was quite a prominent MP at the time.
I know who he is, yeah.
Yeah.
The 19th of June 2011, Inspector Mark Gaunt, Operation Topaz, tells Jane that the West Yorkshire Police cases are finalised. However, there is evidence available in the West Yorkshire Police cases that has never been put to Stephen or the CPS, as highlighted above. That's really interesting then. So basically, the CPS made the decision on the limited information they were provided, is what he's saying. So at that juncture then, why did he not reopen the case if he knew that?
Because they're after me, aren't they? They've started this case against me in Crete, and all Operation Langham would have collapsed, and rightfully so. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, we've spoken about Andrew West's letter in 2021, protecting Stephen Thomas again over here. It's
Okay. 22nd of June 2011, Jane provided a video interview to DC McNamara, Operation Topaz again, about Lancashire rape. Paul Kerry informs Jane to report them to other forces. This is what I thought, the way it works. So if a crime happened in one area, it will be, you have to report it in that area.
yeah.
But,
I think if you keep reading, Cedric explains it at the bottom.
Okay. All right. And outside West Yorkshire Police jurisdiction, contrary to ACPL guidance, Jane reports rapes to North Yorkshire 27th of the 6th, 2011, and Cheshire Police 22nd of the 6th, 2011, who initially investigate and liaise with West Yorkshire Police, August 2011. Interforce meetings held, chaired by Nick Wallen, PSD. What does PSD mean?
Professional
Police.
Standards Department.
Right.
He's the detective inspector, and there's been a lot of bad things connected to Nick Warren over the years in West Yorkshire.
Okay. Yeah. Jane told DS Anfield, Lancashire, was her single point of contact after that. March 2012, meeting between West Yorkshire Police, PSD, Inspector Nick Wallen, and other forces. 26th of March 2012, 26, 28, 26, well, one of the two. Inspector Wallen emails Jane telling her not to contact other forces anymore and that an advice file has been submitted to CPS. Jane can provide more witnesses to collaborate with the allegations that Stephen raped. How could she get? She's got witnesses. Alison Thomas, Deborah.
That's Simon Thomas's wife, Alison Thomas.
Deborah, Chris, and Greg.
Deborah Raystrick was wife number one for me.
Right.
And Stephen Thomas had told her that himself at the Guy Post Hotel that he often raped his wife. He's like bragging about it.
What were he doing this while intoxicated or something? Do these confessions?
Well, yeah, he used to like a drink and what have you. Yeah, he used to think it was a pastime raping his wife.
Yeah,
Chris Jackson was a long-term friend of Jane's. She used to call him his bodyguard to keep Stephen Thomas away. And then Greg Stevenson is another guy who made a signed statement to West Yorkshire Police directly saying he knew about all the bruises because whenever she was beaten up or attacked by Stephen, she would end up. He would have to go and help her or take her to hospital or find her at the side of a road somewhere.
Wow, this is that's horrific, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And bear in mind, this is West Yorkshire Police that protected Jimmy Savile for decades.
They're saying that, even the royal family did as well.
Police officers actually went to Jimmy Savile's Friday morning club where it was whiskey and whatever went on.
Yeah, James not informed if Stephen had been rearrested or re-interviewed these serious matters. November 2012 and serious sexual. Sorry, just going backwards, one sec, right? So Alison, Deborah, Chris, Greg, and yourself were never interviewed, even though you've got something to say on the subject matter.
Yeah.
About these rapes and his conduct.
And Cedric knows Deborah Raystrick because obviously it was wife number one. And, so Deborah's actually told Cedric, yes, Stephen Thomas has told me this. And so is Chris Jackson and Greg Stevenson and Alison Thomas. So it was Simon Thomas's wife. It's just,
let's carry on. The clear outcome is that no police officer has taken ownership of the investigation since May 2006. There should have been one investigation managed by one DI from the initial report. That investigation should have been investigated, all of the offences, wherever they occurred. If all the evidence that had been available in July 2006 had been collated, put to Stephen on interview and submitted in a comprehensive case file in 2006, it is very probable that the case would have proceeded to trial with high probability conviction. I would have the same. If you've got confession before a judge, that's one, and you've got witnesses. I mean,
You've got a self-confession, haven't you? So you don't need any other witnesses.
well, that's what I'm saying, and witnesses, you know. Okay, due to the failings and subsequent efforts to cover up these failings, it's not failings, it's not that. This is just corruption. Stephen has never faced justice, and Jane has lost faith in the justice system. Yeah,
And I have.
that's an understatement. Also, because of these failings, Stephen has had the ability and confidence to commit further offences against her, i.e., fraud, perjury, and harassment. This report has been prepared by Cedric Christie, a retired detective inspector in West Yorkshire Police, with an exemplary record. Okay, don't laugh too much. At Jane's request, Cedric will help and support Jane in her quest for these matters to be finally. Now, what makes this extraordinary, Ralph, right? Because we've got to end this episode. Is that he is a ex-detective inspector, yeah, right? And he can't even get access to justice to help Jane. Now, the only thing that creeps in my mind, my conspiracy head, is because they knew he was corrupt anyway, so they don't even listen to him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jane would like to be kept informed of all developments in arrests, interviews, reviews, case decisions, and proposed course of outcome. These are the basic rights of Jane as a victim of various serious crimes. Okay, I mean, geez, I can't wait for next week. Ralph, we need to finish here. I don't know what you want to finish up on with, not only the song, any final comments? We've got about a minute.
Well, we've had a laugh, haven't we? I mean, the last comment is it was like Cedric Christie, retired detective inspector in West Yorkshire Police, with an exemplary record.
Yeah.
Bent as a 9-bob note.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've had a good time. Okay, my last song is, we're going to a Greek song because we haven't had one for a while, and it's Nikos Vertis. In English, it says, "I Want You to Feel Me." It's a romantic song that both Gita and I enjoy. In Greek, it's pronounced Philo Ne Me Neosis. So that's the song.
Okay, let's look forward to next week. I'm going to do some role play by the sounds of it. Okay.
Chuckle Brothers.
Yeah. All right.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time. We got
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Oh, stand by me. When all
one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment. Did you capture it? Just let it slip.
Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter, he's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home, that's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This old rhapsody better go capture this moment and hope it don't. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. Souls escaping through this hole that is gaping. This world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move toward a new world order. A normal life is boring, but superstardom's close to postmortem. It only grows harder, homie grows hotter. He blows, it's all cold water. These fools don't want him no more. He's cold product. They moved on to the next mo who flows. He knows dove and sold nada. And so the soap opera is told. It unfolds. I suppose it's old partner, but the beat goes on. Da-da-dum. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better no more games. I'ma change what you call rage. Tear this and roof off like two dogs' cage. I was playing in the beginning, the mood all changed. I've been chewed up and spit out and booed off stage, but I kept rhyming and stepped right in the next cipher. Best believe somebody's paying the Pied Piper. All the pain